Hey y'all, so this is my Real Housewives of New York City review. I'm sorry it's late. It just seems that the more the city opens, the harder it is to get these reviews out on time, because a ninja is social these days. Anywho, we left off on a cliffhanger last week of a very interesting episode where Luann was just showing her true colors. So it's continuing from that. We see Eboni walking out, and then Heather and Sonja is behind her. And then we have Luann and then her family, the nude model, and Ramona sitting down at the table. And then you have Luann saying, I didn't bring up race, she's bringing up her race. And Ramona, we heard you. We heard what you said. Like, oh, she has issues. Are you serious? You have issues, racist issues. How about that? So yeah, we see Eboni talking outside to Heather and Sonja, and they're agreeing with her, just saying that like there's just some things you don't say and understand it, no one's listening. And Sonja is making a lot of sense in her confessions. I gotta give it to her. So Eboni and her fabulous Burberry walk straight to the Uber and leaves. And Luann just doesn't see anything wrong with what she said. And then you have everyone else at the table just egging her on. She's like, oh yeah, I didn't know her, but I see her true colors today. Well, Luann, we see your true colors too. So Eboni gets back to Ramona's, and Leah's already there. So she sees Leah in the room, and she's like, well, Luann kicked me out of her house and called me an angry black woman. Now, I will say, Eboni, she didn't call you an angry black woman, but we all knew what she was saying. She called you an angry woman, but still, I get it. The intention was still there. So that's fair, but I'm just pointing it out for the other people in the chat who might think I'm biased. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, Leah has the reaction, she did not! She did not! Leah was putting on a little bit for the cameras, but okay, I'll allow it. And yes, Eboni looks like she's a little shaken because she really could have turned that place out. And she really could have bopped Luann, but she felt that she had to like be reserved and be calm in the situation, or it would just make the matters worse. So in one scene we have Eboni recapping to Leah all that what happened, and then the other scene we see Luann and Sonja and Ramona and Heather all at the table, as well as the new model, her daughter, and her niece. They're all talking about it. And I agree with Heather. Like, Heather's making a lot of sense right now, and it's white women's job to educate each other on it. It's not Eboni's job. So I appreciate Heather like breaking it down for the other women. And Luann is just so thick-headed she's not getting it. It's just her ego right now. Now Luann may think she's not racist, and you know, I would say she's not racist, but she's pretty ignorant. And when Heather says that she should apologize, she's like, yes, Luann, you should apologize. You don't know how that word affects black women, and you went below the belt with that one. Heather is trying to educate her on that. It is our job as white women. Okay, you go, Heather, you go. So Leah says in her confessional, Eboni is a better woman than me, because if it was me, I would have burned that freaking house down. Now, Leah, you probably could do that because you have the privilege of doing so. You probably could have threw a drink in her face too, but unfortunately for Eboni, she doesn't have that privilege that you do. Yeah, the two most woke white women in the group, they're all chatting with Eboni right now, and they get it. So here's where the awkward part comes in. So Heather is, she's agreeing with Eboni, preaching to the choir or whatever. But then Heather says, well, I understand as well because I'm in the homes of Black America. And Eboni wants her to expound upon that. And Heather's like, well, I work with Puffy and I work with a lot of Black people. And yes, Eboni has a point. Well, you can't really conflate working with the Black elite to knowing what normal Black people go through every day. So I get that. But I think Heather's trying to overly compensate by saying that. I feel like her intentions are pure. I really do. But yes, I think in that moment, she kind of put her foot in her mouth. She doesn't have to try so hard. But anywho, the plan is for them to all go into the living room later, have some cocktails, and talk about the situation so they can get over it. So we see Ramona, she's prepping for the activity tonight, and then Heather goes to Luann's room, and Luann is again, she's misspeaking. She's like, well, the girl got up in my face. I'm like, now Luann, Eboni did not do that. And Heather, I'm gonna need her to just chill out and stop trying to fix the situation. So they're getting ready to sit down, and Luann's just talking to Sonja, because Sonja's like, just listen and we can get through this, you know? It's not that big of a deal. Let's just get through this. And Luann's still trying to play the victim. Like, oh my God, girl, like put your ego to the side. So they all sit down, and then Eboni really just breaks it down clearly and precisely, so there's really no questions to be asked on that. So it seems Luann takes it all in, and she does apologize for the angry comment, and she says like, oh, well, I don't know, and you have to educate me. And then Ramona interjects and says, oh yes, you have to educate us. You do, you have to. Pause. Eboni does not have to do that. It's not her job. She didn't get on the show for this, to educate you white women. Like Heather, it's y'all's job to do the work, not Eboni. So as we think we're over this and Luann apologized to her, she tells Eboni, well, I hope you can extend the same apology to me. What? What does Eboni owe her an apology for? And Eboni made her case to what Luann did to her and why she should apologize. Now, as Luann tries to, it's like, oh, but you made me angry because of what you said, and I was hurt. No, you don't get an apology out of Eboni because she didn't do nothing wrong. You misinterpreted what she said and got into a tizzy about it. It was very Sutton of you. So Eboni makes a point to the ladies. Like at one point, Leah called all y'all, you're a hoe, you're a hoe, you're a hoe. No one said anything about her being angry. And then Ramona interjects and says, well, her grandmother's dying. Ramona, did you not hear a couple of days ago when Eboni said that her grandmother is dying too? So much for listening. And then producers take us to that moment where Eboni shared with all the ladies that her grandmother is dying too. She's just not having the reaction that Leah is having right now. She's just not having the reaction that Leah's been having the entire trip. And thank you, Eboni, for explaining to them the burden of the education of all of them does not lie on her back. And of course, Ramona's like, I didn't ask you. Like, Ramona, we just saw you do it. We just saw you do it. And then Eboni definitely calls her out for deflecting as well. We are white privileged ladies. We are not turning the page to move forward. We have to read the page. You go ahead, Sonja Morgan. Jarring that she is the one that is making the sense out of all these women. Sonja being racially conscious just wasn't on my bingo card for this show. So I think Heather was just echoing what Eboni said, but you can look at Leah and was just like, this bitch. So we see in her confessional that she's saying that Heather needs to shut the F up. I'm like, damn, Leah, like this isn't a competition. It seems like Leah is in this competition with Heather on who can be the most woke white woman on the cast. So we get through this conversation and they hug it out. So I'm glad that we are back to square one. I'm pretty sure it might happen again, but I'm glad that they are moving forward. Pause. I love how Eboni told Ramona, well, you know, tonight I'm not gonna eat your lovely food. I'm gonna order some comfort food. I love how she just did a whole euphemism for, I don't want your bland ass food. I'm gonna order me some soul food from Uber Eats. Did anybody else catch that? I'm not gonna eat your lovely food this evening, but I'm gonna order some comfort food. It was so polite. So after the ladies talk, we get a little moment between Sonja and Eboni, and Sonja's just reassuring Eboni that Luann's a good person, she's just a little ignorant. And we get to Eboni really bigging up Sonja because Sonja seems like she has a lot of insecurities, especially dealing with the other women, like putting her down a lot. And Eboni really reassures Sonja that you're a bad bitch and you're a good person and you need to start treating yourself like that. And she notices how the other women can kind of dismiss her. But yes, this is a really nice scene, and it seems that Sonja isn't pandering. Like, it really does come off very genuine. Oh no, oh my God. So Heather leaves her bag in Eboni or Leah's room, and Eboni and Leah are there, and Heather just says, you know what, Eboni, you did a great job tonight, just explaining it to them. And she's like, you're so articulate. Ugh. I mean, even Leah caught it. She was just like, oof. It doesn't even register to Heather that she just committed a microaggression. Like, I get it. And then Leah and Eboni are just talking about it between themselves. So yes, I mean, I get Heather has the best intentions, but yeah, girl, You're trying too hard. And articulate, oh my God, I've heard that so much when I was the only black person in my class in LSU. Oh, you're so articulate. And Ebony's like, she means so well. I'm gonna just give her a pass on that. And that's why I really can't get mad at Heather, because she really does mean well. So it's the next day and all the ladies are just talking about the aftermath of the conversation that they all had. And then we hear Ramona talking to Sonja about, well, I can understand where Eboni is coming from, because what if I was the only white woman in a group of black chicks? Like, can we please put Ramona on the cast of the Real Housewives of Atlanta or Potomac and see how she works out? We also see Eboni on the phone with one of her friends who's a matchmaker, and she wants to help Sonja out because she believes Sonja deserves love and that she has a lot of love to give someone. We also get a scene of Sonja talking to Luann saying that, oh yeah, you hear Ramona talking to Eboni? She's just glad she's not the one who's in the hot seat right now. And I'm pretty sure we got maybe 13 more episodes to go. There's room. Even Sonja acknowledges, oh, well, maybe my ass will be in the hot seat too. We'll see. Oh my goodness. So as they're getting ready, Leah, again, trying too hard. She cannot dress to save her life. Like, I don't think last season I was talking about how Leah can't dress, but right now, I don't know what is going on or what she's wearing right here. I really don't. She's trying too hard. What is going on with Leah and Sutton in their second seasons? So they all get to the beach to do some fly fishing and relaxing. This is kind of a best fiends tease, so I'm kind of fast forwarding through it. We see that Sonja is, of course being Sonja, and she's hitting on the fly fishing instructor. Eboni is almost washed out to sea, and Luann and Leah are just being silly. We also see Luann and Eboni in a conversation, and it seems Luann is still stewing in white guilt from their conversation the other night. I was in tears about the whole thing. It was very, very upsetting to me. This is like the exact same thing Sutton did on Beverly Hills, and ooh, wait till I get to that episode. So it seems no one catches any fish. The whole activity seemed kind of pointless. So now they're all just eating alongside the beach right now. And the topic of conversation is the election. As they're filming this, I'm guessing the 2020 election was pretty near. Eboni says she's having a little election night watch party at her place. Ramona immediately says no, and I'm pretty sure we all know why. I don't think she wants to be filmed in regards to anything political. So as they're on the topic of the election, Heather asks everyone, did everyone early vote? And then we hear Leah say, well, I'm so disgusted by the display of both sides that I don't really know if I even want to vote. And this is the privilege I'm talking about with white women, because Leah says she didn't vote in the last election, and this is why we had Trump. So I wish Eboni probably would have clocked her on that, like on her privilege of not voting. But anywho, I know that's Ebony's homegirl. But then Leah turns to Heather and is like, and before you even tell me anything, please, like, I just don't need the self-righteousness. I'm like, damn, Heather didn't even say anything. Like, she was coming for her already. This is just another way for Heather to be morally righteous and superior. Damn, like, it really is a competition between the two of them, more so on Leah's part, who can be the most woke out of the white women on the cast. And honestly, personally, I really hate how she's coming for Heather right now. Like, ever since, she didn't even give Heather a chance. And while we're talking about Heather's microaggressions, I really do think that Leah subconsciously uses Eboni's friendship. Like, she's holding on to that friendship as like a badge to her, as to say, oh, well, I have black friends, unlike these other white women on the cast, so I'm woke. So that's how I'm seeing it right now. We still have like 20 more minutes of the episode, so that opinion may change, but still with Leah, I just feel like I'm just not feeling it. So it's later in the evening and the theme is beauty pageant from the 70s. Okay, pretty random, but all right. So as they're all in glam, Leah gets a call from her mom and is telling her how her grandmother is progressing. I'm guessing it's not so well because Leah is clearly emotionally upset. What I don't understand is why Leah is continuing to film in the Hamptons and just not by her grandmother's side, especially if she's slipping away. I still don't understand why she's there, because I could not be. I would cancel the trip. Again, y'all, I'm not making fun of how she feels, but I'm just like, why isn't she by her grandmother's side if she's about to lose her? and she's on this trip. So actually in this moment, Leah explains why she's not by her grandmother's side. She said that she's not responsive. And if she was, that she would definitely be by her side. Still, if I'm this emotionally vulnerable, I'm not sure if I want to be around people on a trip right now. So everyone looks good in their glam. Now, I'm guessing Leah is the only one who is doing the slit throat because of Halloween, I guess? Leah's dress right now is definitely a choice. Yeah, why is everyone so stunningly dressed up and Leah looks like she's going to like a Halloween party? So we have Heather and Sonja in the scene together, and Heather's just telling Sonja how rude that Leah has been to her, especially about the voting thing. And I get it, like Leah was just mean to her for no reason. And then we cut to Eboni and Leah, and Eboni's saying that she had a conversation with Heather, and Leah was the topic, and she was just saying how rude she was to her, and about the podcast, and then about the voting. And Eboni was even telling Leah as a friend, well, honestly, like voting, it is so important because the stakes are so high and all these issues are on the line. But Leah was more concerned about Eboni having this conversation with Heather about her than the actual issue of not voting. And that ticked her off. And then she just storms out the room as Eboni is talking to her to go give Heather a piece of her mind. Child, so she could not wait to come after Heather. She goes out the room, goes up to the stairs, to the railing, and then shouts at Heather as she's downstairs, like, Heather, why are you talking about me? Wow, she really went in on her. You are white feminist 101. You are the problem. You are in everyone's business like a Karen. She called her a Karen. She might as well call her a see you next Tuesday. A white woman using Karen as a weapon against another white woman. I didn't seen it all. And Heather is just looking at Sonja like, is this bitch for real? Leah is doing way too much. You don't speak about my personal political decisions. Well, girl, you didn't vote in the 2016 election, and I have a few words about that. And if I feel like I want to say an opinion on it, yeah, I'm going to say it. It was stupid of you not to do it, because you have no right to complain anything about how much you hate Donald Trump if you didn't even vote. And Heather just keeps smiling with that Cheshire Cat grin of hers, and I think it's making Leah angrier. Wow, and it's crazy because everyone looks so glamorous and good, and then Leah looks crazy. She literally looks crazy. So now Ebony's just trying to explain to Heather what she said, and Eboni wasn't trying to invoke this type of reaction out of Leah. And before Eboni can even finish explaining her point to Heather, Leah comes back downstairs and starts trying to just berate Heather again. I really don't get this outburst. I really don't. Leah is not in the mental state to film right now. Leah is unhinged. I don't see why she's coming at Heather like this. The other ladies don't even care about her. Like, the pageant is starting. We need to go. Y'all can save this for later. It just seems like the other ladies are used to Leah's outbursts, so they really just don't pay it any mind anymore. Okay, Leah's doing too much. And when Heather goes to sit in, she's like, please don't leave me in the van with her. Please don't. And then Heather had enough. She was just like, oh, relax, bitch. Okay, Leah is getting in Heather's face right now. She's like, fuck you, bitch. Damn. So now Leah's threatening everybody that she's not going, I can't be with that psycho. Who's the psycho here? And unfortunately, they left us on it to be continued. I can't wait till next week. I heard Heather stopped filming. It's unfortunate. I get it. Like, because no one is coming to Heather's defense, because clearly something is not right. I'm not sure why. I loved Leah last season, and it's really disappointing me and my homegirls that she's acting like this. She is so threatened by Heather for no reason. Anywho, y'all, can't wait till the next episode. And yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all soon for the next episode. Bye.